And continuing with President Donald Trump, nearly 100 protesters were arrested yesterday after staging a sit-in at the Trump Tower in New York City. The demonstration called for the release of Mahmoud Khalil, a pro-Palestinian activist and Columbia University graduate who was detained by federal immigration agents over the weekend. The protest, which was organized by Jewish Voice for Peace, had demonstrators storming the lobby of the Trump Tower. Some protesters even unfurled banners from the building's golden escalator, a symbolic location tied to the commander-in-chief's 2015 campaign launch.
We cannot allow Donald Trump to turn this into a dictatorship, authoritarian, fascist regime, which is currently is right now as he's governing. We got to push back, and Senate Democrats need to push back. Vote no on cloture, vote no on this heist of a Republican bill, and bring them back to the table to govern for the people.
Now, according to police, at least 98 individuals were detained on charges of trespassing, obstructing government administration, and resisting arrest. And despite the large-scale action, police reported no injuries or property damage.
We're saying roughly 150 people entered Trump Plaza. We made 98 arrests. Those arrests are for trespassing, obstructing government administration, and resisting arrest by virtue of us having to carry some of the people out of the escalade. As you saw, went in and made the arrests. There were no injuries. There were no incidents. There was no damaged property.
Now, after being detained, the protesters were then led out of the building in zip ties and placed into police vehicles and city buses. And as they were taken away, their chants for Khalil's release echoed through Fifth Avenue.
We believe that it's deeply important to stand up in these kinds of moments, to say that we will not sit idly by, we will not comply. Never again means right now, never again means for everyone. What happened to Mahmoud should never have happened, and we're not going to let it happen to anyone else.
30-year-old Mahmoud Khalil was a vocal activist during the protests at Columbia University and was arrested by ICE agents last Saturday. His attorney stated that Khalil was informed that his student visa had been revoked. However, as a green card holder, his detention has sparked controversy over the legal process surrounding his potential deportation.
It is absolutely unprecedented, the grounds that are being cited by the government for purportedly claiming to revoke his green card and putting him in removal proceedings. This is a person who is a lawful permanent resident. This is a U.S. person. And, essentially they are a form of punishment and retaliation for the exercise of free speech.
Khalil is currently being held at an immigration detention facility in Louisiana, and the Trump administration has justified his detention by alleging that he was involved in activities aligned with Hamas. However, to date, no direct evidence has publicly been presented to support these claims.
Mahmoud Khalil was an individual who was given the privilege of coming to this country to study at one of our nation's finest universities and colleges. This is an individual who organized group protests that not only disrupted college campus classes and harassed Jewish American students and made them feel unsafe on their own college campus, but also distributed pro-Hamas propaganda, flyers with the logo of Hamas.
Now, while Thursday's protest at Trump Tower was the most high-profile demonstration so far, there have been several other rallies taking place across New York City and elsewhere. With activists condemning Khalil's detention, a question remains, is this just the beginning?
Firstpost brings you the Ideas Pod at the Ricina Dialogue 2025, the largest gathering of global policymakers, thought leaders, and innovators, now on the fastest growing international news platform. Big ideas, big debates, big impact. Only at the Ideas Pod.
Ricina Hill.
Firstpost gives you front row access to the conversations that matter most. The Ideas Pod. Ricina Dialogue 2025 on Firstpost. From March 17th to March 19th.